This is a simple recipe because we haven't gone to the grocery store since we've been back from our vacation. So today for Mirko's lunch, I'm making just a simple sauce with onions, a little bit of olive oil, obviously, onions, a little bit of red pepper flakes, a pinch of salt. I put a little bit of basil and now I'm going to also add some in later when I add the tomato sauce. And I'm just cooking these on a relatively low heat until they're just becoming translucent. And then once they're soft and translucent, then I will add about a tablespoon's worth of butter just to add a little extra flavor. And we have some really nice sauce, tomato sauce that my friends made from tomatoes here in Sicily. I'm using 2 of these cups full. And then I will add the rest of the basil and let it cook down a little bit. And I'm going to make it, I think, with spaghetti. I haven't decided yet. But if you want to cook something simple but delicious and it doesn't take too much time on a really hot day like today, because it is hot here in Sicily, this is a nice, easy, simple thing to make. So now I'm just going to add the butter. And again, you don't want high heat because you don't want the butter to brown or burn or anything like that. I'm going to add my sauce right now. There's 1. And 2. This is a portion for 2 people. Now at the end, you can use one of those hand blender thingies, I forgot what they're called, to puree the onions if you don't like onion chunks, like some people don't appreciate that. So that's always a good possibility if you're not into biting into an onion. But if you don't want to do that, the onions are great the way they are. You just want to make sure you cut them relatively thin into thin little strips. And so I'm going to let this cook down. Throw in my basil, rest of my basil. And then I'm just going to let this cook down for a few until it's evaporated some of the liquid and all the flavors have melded together. And voila, lunch will be ready. So about 5 minutes has passed. It's becoming a little bit more dense. So after a few more minutes, I'll shut the heat off and then I'll boil my water. Making sure to add salt into your pasta water is very important to get the good flavor that you're going to want. And then I'll cook my spaghetti al dente and everything will be done. I also want to add, this recipe is also really good if you use fresh tomatoes and cook them down. If you like the more chunky style, then that's the way to go. Normally we make this with fresh tomatoes, but we do have sauce from Sicily, from tomatoes from Sicily that are local, that our friends made. So the tomatoes are so sweet, the sauce will have lots of good flavor. But like I said, we haven't gone to the grocery store yet, so I'm just making do with what we have at home. So I made a decision, and this is what we are going to use with our sauce. It's kind of dark in here, but I don't want to turn the lights on. It's so hot. But right now, the water is hot. I don't know if you can tell, but it's hot. It's just not boiling yet. But I'm going to add a grip of salt. Not too much, but at least 2.5. These aren't, this is a smaller spoon, so 2.5 to 3 spoonfuls. And then it'll start boiling any second now. And then we will add the spaghetti. So now I've tasted the sauce. I decided to add another pinch of red pepper flakes because we like it a little bit spicy. Not too spicy, but a little spicy, never hurt. And I also tasted it for salt, but the little spoonful I put in earlier was enough, so I'm not going to add any more. So right now I've got the water boiling. It's covered because I don't have the pasta in it. Once it boils, I'll take the cover off and set it aside and put the pasta in. But one of the things that we do for every meal, if we eat at home, lunch, anything that we do, we always use a tablecloth. Don't mind my laundry hanging. I haven't put it away yet. I've been doing laundry in between cooking and whatnot. But we always use a tablecloth. It's just the way, so while I'm here, that's what I do. But Mirko should be arriving soon. He usually gets about an hour to an hour and a half, or sometimes more, for lunch, and then his boss will call when his boss is done eating lunch, and that's when it's time to go. So normally, if because I'm not working while I'm here, I can't work yet, so I will cook lunch. But if there's something specific that we want, Mirko's a really great cook, so there's enough time for him to make us lunch as well. A little more complicated. This one's really simple, but it is so hot right now that there's no way I was going to cook anything else, and he wasn't going to either. So anyway, yeah, he should be here soon, and then I'll dump the spaghetti in, and then we will eat our lunch. So we're using plastic today because it's really hot and I don't want to do a bunch of dishes after this. But the nice thing is when you buy plastic plates and whatnot, they are biodegradable here, which I really appreciate. One of the most important things that I like to do is stick a couple glasses in the freezer. Throw our beer for lunch in the freezer. This one's Mirko's favorite, and I really like this one. And I really like the phrase because it says to drink it in good company. So I'm following instructions. And then if we want, we've got our cheese here in the freezer. That way it doesn't go bad because it melts right away once you stick it on the pasta.
Perché un video?
Condividere la ricetta con persone. So, got our frozen mugs, got our beer, cheese is on the table. Mirko's relaxing. A noi. The spaghetti is almost done. As you can see, the sauce is a little bit more dense now because I cooked it down a little bit. That 5 extra minutes does a lot. You don't need to do it for too long. And as soon as the pasta's done, we will mix it all together and eat. So now the spaghetti is cooked. We're going to add the sauce. Looks good, smells good. And then we'll mix it all together really well. Perfect amount for 2 people. It's very important. This is olive oil from our friends. I'm not sure which friend this is from because a few have gifted us some bottles, but it's so good. There's nothing like fresh olive oil, local. Mixy mixy. Bravo, Mirko. Little bit of cheese.
Okay.
Buon appetito.